Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm your humble host, Phys Ed Music. Excuse me. And this right here is Urban Politics. Check me out. I wanted to talk about something that, unfortunately, a lot of us can relate to, I'm sure. I wanted to talk about psychopaths, or being a psychopath, or what is psychopathy, or psychopathology, right? So, I looked it up. Let's go ahead and talk about the definition of being a psychopath. A mental condition in which a person has a long-term pattern of manipulating, exploiting, or violating the rights of others. Neuroscientist and psychologist Abby Marsh explained what makes a psychopath. 4 defining traits. She said pitilessness, an inability to love, remorselessness, and insensitivity to the possibility of harm. She said, we do know these brain abnormalities start early in childhood and sort of progress over time. She went on to say that psychopathy exists on a spectrum from mild to severe, with some being more manipulative, risk-taking, and threatening than others. Got me to thinking, I'm sure that we all know some psychopaths, right? Or we all at points have been remorseless or pitilessness, but have you had all of this going on at the same time to be a psychopath? When I think of some of this stuff, I'm like, there's plenty of people who have psychopathic traits, but are they truly psychopaths? You know, but to look at some of this, you know, how many people do you know who are pitilessness? Just don't even have any pity for others. They see the plight that other people go through and they could just care less. Now, sometimes you say to yourself, maybe those people just aren't as sensitive as other people. You know, maybe they're lacking a sense of humanity, right? Or maybe their humanity meter isn't as high as the rest of us. But is that going towards something a little deeper? An inability to love. Who can't love something? Whether you love a car, a house, a job. Heck, some people love money, right? Love is love, I guess. Can you love anything? But really, do you have love for other people? Love for another person? Love for a living thing? You know, but if you just have an inability to love anything, to form that attachment, that probably should raise an eyebrow. Remorselessness. We should all be remorseful. I'm remorseful sometimes just for stuff I've done during the day that wasn't even that big a deal. Not saying excuse me or thank you to somebody. I'm remorseful for that. Dang, I should have said thanks, you know, because they went out of their way to help me. I probably should have at least applauded that, you know. So there it is. If you don't have any remorse for anything, you got to ask yourself, you know, what's going on with me? Is there a hole in my soul? And then an insensitivity towards the possibility of harm. Now that is crazy because everybody know they can get hurt. You know, I think it was Redman who said it best, no matter who you are, you still catch a bullet scar. So I would hope that everybody knows that no one is above, you know what I'm saying? Like Chris Rock said, a butt whooping. He ain't say but you get my drift. No one is invincible around here. No one is, you know, above being hurt. Or, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that you would walk around thinking you got an S on your chest or something, you know, not being sensitive to the fact of your own mortality or your own fragileness. Human beings are very fragile creatures. You watch some of these shows with all and movies with all this nifty CGI, and you would think that we're not, but we are. None of us are superheroes around here or superhuman, so please don't get caught up in the Hollywood madness. You too, my friend, can suffer from broken bones. You are not unbreakable, like Samuel Jackson's character. So, with that said, that's something to think about right there. You know what I'm saying? Being a psychopath. And it's interesting how in this country we tend to glorify psychopaths, you know? But they always only show the cool side of that, you know? We only see the cool side of being a psychopath. What's the uncool side? You know, I believe it or not, I always wanted to put the question out there. Do you know any psychopaths in your life? But I guess if you do, if they're doing it right, you probably don't consider them psychopaths. You just consider them, like I said, human beings who just aren't maybe as thoughtful as the rest of us or as sensitive as the rest of us. TI is what a TI is. Something to think about. See you around like a donut.